What's good, y'all? I'm back again. So I just want to show y'all how to make hypnotic techno. We'll do a few tutorials on this because there's a few different styles of hypnotic techno, but we'll go through some of the main ones. First, I'm going to get into sci-fi techno, hypnotic sci-fi techno. Okay, and so first things first, with something like this, we want to get prepared. We want to get the right sounds, and I'm going to try to use quite a few stock Ableton sounds. So if you have Ableton Live Suite, you should be squared away. But yeah, so we'll use a lot of the stock instruments. So yeah, we'll start even from DS Kick. And so we'll delete some of the premium plugins or whatever. Well, actually, some of these are free. Like Stonefire's free. This is free. You know, Ear Candy is free. But yeah, okay. So hypnotic techno, sci-fi hypnotic techno is less is more. And usually a lot of sci-fi techno is a bit slower. So 129, 131, 133.33. If you know, you know. Well, yeah. And so with this genre, using just sub bass, a sine wave is perfectly fine. So what I like to do is I'll just type in sine in search. Get a basic sub sine. See, I already got it favorited because I use it a lot. So then we'll drag this down here. And let's see what key are. Well, it's an F. So we got the sub sign right here, basic sub sign. And you see how I did that? So right here, I was just playing on my keyboard. And then I hit capture MIDI and I just kind of did it to the beat and it caught it. So of course you want your bass turned down. You don't want that too loud on the dance floor. I'm telling you, I done had times where my bass has been too loud and I had to adjust. You know, you want to turn that bass down a lot. Because in the club, that's the biggest thing. Like some producers never get to hear their track in the club, so they don't know how loud the bass actually is. And sometimes it's just so overpowering, even with really nicely mastered tracks. Sometimes it's just too loud, so you really gotta be mindful of your sub and the volume with that. If you're trying to get it more present, there's methods, saturation, etc., etc. And so what we'll do here is I always mark my basses blue. Always. They're always usually blue. So we'll take an operator and we'll get a pattern going. So one thing I like to do, just to really give a quite bit of difference, I will use SQ sequencer. So we can take a SQ sequencer, which is in Max for Live. It's free if you have Ableton. And I like to kind of randomize stuff. So let's go C minor. Let's change that to E or F. And then I really like to hit randomize because like it just gives you you know, something you might not have thought of. See? We're not done, of course. We're not done at all. Turn this down just a little bit. I'm gonna come here and just kind of play around with different wavetables or waveforms. So we'll take the convolution reverb. Go ahead and take some of that low end out. And we'll change this up right here. A lot of sci-fi techno doesn't have many hi-hats. Or if they do, they're really minimal. See, that was super simple. Like that was damn near like not even thinking. So now we need to, I'm sorry, I've got two giant programs running at the same time. So you're hearing a little bit of, yeah, you're hearing that. Okay, so what we're gonna do is on the bass, and also I might just put this in here as a group. Let's see. Okay, we got a kick in our bass, but on the bass, we'll take this compressor right here, we'll hit sidechain toggle, and then we'll go to external, and then we'll use the kick as the source. So this is gonna be used as the source. Now what I want to do is I want to come here to show collapse view. And I'm going to turn down my attack. It's about 17 milliseconds or so. And this is introducing sidechain compression. And this is ensuring that this kick cuts through. And then what we can do is also take the compressor and throw it on different instruments. So we can throw it on here, and that's how you get that pump effect. See? You know, I like to throw a vocoder on hi-hats. I love doing that. That's one thing I love doing. See, oof, oh, see, already. See? So here's one really cool thing we can do. Let's see if we have any, let's take a sampler first, right? We'll take a sampler, we'll find a sound that is a single, let's see, so you know what, let's take let's use MTV Music Generator because this is royalty free. So let's take a soft synth. And so let's drop this bright EP, electronic piano, and let's click the sustain loop mode to loop back and forth. And then what we'll do is we'll find a good place to chop, and this will be almost like a pad or like an effect. So let's find a good place to chop. And watch this. So we can go here, just make a really long pattern. I like to drag this all the way out. And then what you can do is throw some convolution reverb or stock reverb or hybrid reverb. I'm going to do convolution because I like that one a lot. So what I'm doing right here is just, just doing a high pass effect. This is how I like to do this actually too. So, we took the EQ8, high passed it up to what is this? About 137 or so. So like 137 to 200-ish. And then what I like to do is I will take, you take a drum bus, and then we can group these together. Go ahead and put that compressor on that we had copied. Hopefully it's still there. Yeah. So we'll turn this threshold down more to get more pump. Yeah, you see? With Ableton, you could just perform some shit out. And that's the start of a hypnotic techno track. And there you go, yeah, feel free to subscribe if you learned anything. We coming up, we trying to get to 1K subscribers. So if you like what you see, like what you heard, give a girl a follow. All right, I'm Ghost.